Hey everyone, today let's talk about what it really takes to succeed, especially when it feels like you failed thousands of times. We're going to dig into the story of the light bulb, but really, this is about the incredible mindset that actually made it happen. So let's jump right in.
All right, take a look at this number, 10,000. Now, it's not a price tag or a distance. This number is actually the key to one of the most important inventions in human history. It represents a journey of trial, error, and, well, you'll see. So, I want you to really think about that for a second. What does it actually mean to fail 10,000 times? For most of us, I think it's safe to say that would be the end of the road. But for the inventor Thomas Edison, it meant something completely different.
So, our story kicks off with a massive quest. The hero of this tale is, of course, the brilliant scientist Thomas Edison. And his goal? Oh, it was just to find a safe, practical way to light up the entire world. No big deal, right?
And believe me, the challenge was immense. It wasn't just about making a light flicker on for a second. Edison needed a bulb that was affordable, that was safe, and that could last for hours and hours. This was absolutely not an overnight success story. It was a long, hard climb.
And this, right here, brings us to the heart of his struggle, the ordeal. This is where that number, 10,000, comes roaring back. It represents the unbelievable scale of his experiments.
You know, we often picture invention as this magical aha moment, a flash of genius, right? But the reality for Edison couldn't have been more different. It was a grind, a methodical process involving over 10,000 failed experiments. Every single one was a dead end, and every single one was a lesson learned the hard way. So you can imagine people started to get a little skeptical. Critics, the public, he was constantly being asked things like, "Aren't you embarrassed by so many failures?" I mean, it's a tough question designed to make him doubt his entire process. But Edison's answer, it wasn't defensive at all. In fact, it was a total revelation. It shows a revolutionary way of looking at the very idea of failure, and honestly, it's the most important lesson in this entire story. His response just flips the whole idea of failure on its head. He said, "Why be embarrassed? I have discovered 10,000 ways that won't work. Now the right path is clear." You see? He didn't see failure. He saw progress. He saw himself eliminating all the wrong answers, which only brought him closer to the right one. And this really gets to the core of his philosophy. For Edison, failure was never, ever a defeat. It was just data. Every single experiment that didn't work was another valuable piece of information telling him where not to go, which made the correct path forward clearer and clearer. And this powerful mindset, this reframing of failure as data, is exactly what led him to his triumph. He didn't just get lucky. He designed a process where, in the end, success was pretty much inevitable. So after that continuous, relentless series of thousands of attempts, the breakthrough finally happened in 1879. Edison tried a filament made from a simple carbonized cotton thread. And this wasn't some random guess. It was the logical conclusion of a long, exhaustive process of elimination. And that little bulb, it glowed. And it kept on glowing for over 13 hours straight. That was it. That was the proof he needed. The method worked. His cycle of experimenting, failing, and learning had finally produced the world-changing result he'd been chasing all along. So, what's the big lesson we can pull from all this? Well, it's a perfect, real-world demonstration of the scientific method in action. And it's a method that works not just in a lab, but in pretty much every aspect of life. Let's just call it the Edison method. It's super simple. Step 1, test your idea, your hypothesis. Step 2, learn from what went wrong. Don't get discouraged, just learn. And step 3, use what you learned, that data, to find the right direction. It's a simple, powerful loop. When you really boil it down, this story shows us 3 essential keys to making progress. You need patience for the long haul. You need analysis to learn from every single outcome. And you absolutely need persistence to just keep going no matter how many times you get knocked down. So here's the bottom line. Real progress, whether it's in science, in business, or just in your own life, it very rarely comes from a single stroke of genius. It comes from patiently and methodically analyzing what doesn't work until you finally discover what does. And that brings us to one final question I want you to think about. The next time you have a setback, the next time you fail at something, try not to see it as a dead end. Instead, ask yourself this: what is this teaching me? What wrong path is it showing me?